When I heard they were going to make a Cruella de Vil film and that it was going to have Emma Stone, I wasn't really too sure what to think about it. Well, what do I think about it now? Stick around to find out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Cruella. Disney has now released their latest live-action adaptation of a character or story that we're all familiar with from a popular franchise or popular movie, and in this case it's Cruella de Vil, played by Emma Stone, who of course is a character from 101 Dalmatians. We've seen the character brought into live action with two live-action 101 and 102 Dalmatian films starring Glenn Close in the role of Cruella de Vil. So for me, I felt like Emma Stone had some pretty big shoes to fill, and even though those films aren't the greatest, I think that Glenn Close did a really great job of capturing the essence of who Cruella de Vil is from the original films. So yeah, I guess before I get too far into this, I should say that I enjoyed the 101 Dalmatian films as a kid, both the live action and the animated films. You know, I'm a big Disney fan. I've talked about it here on the channel plenty. And so yeah, I really was looking forward to seeing what they would do with it. And when I first started seeing the first trailer and some of the first marketing material that came out, I wasn't too sure what they were going for. It seemed like they were going for almost like a punk rock and feel and vibe Cruella de Vil. And you know, I definitely just wanted to kind of hold my judgment until I saw it, because I am a big fan of Emma Stone. I think she's a great actress and I really thoroughly enjoy her in a lot of movies. And so what I'll start this off by saying is there won't be any spoilers overall, but you know, this is an origin story for Cruella. One thing that I really enjoyed about this movie was that it was in a lot of ways its own thing, creating its own story. If you watch those older films, the 101 Dalmatian films, she's already Cruella de Vil. She's already the villain that we all know and love. So with this movie, they kind of took a page out of Maleficent's book and kind of a page out of Cinderella's book, the two live action versions of those characters, where Maleficent was kind of giving us a backstory to Maleficent, kind of changing the perspective, kind of changing the audience's view on her as a character. Is she bad? Is she not bad? And then with Cinderella, the element there was that in the movie, when you start watching it, the live action version, her name isn't Cinderella, and later on over, you know, the course of the film, she ends up getting the name Cinderella. It's kind of like part of the name is her name, and then she eventually becomes Cinderella. And so it's similar here, where Cruella is not her name, but she eventually takes on that name as time goes on. So yeah, you know, kind of a blend of some of the other live action stuff that they've done, but for the most part, this one I would say is more similar to Maleficent, that it does a lot of its own thing, even with Maleficent though having the framing of that Sleeping Beauty story. With this one, I think it was very much its own thing, and in a lot of ways maybe even more so than any of the previous live action Disney adaptations. So I'll give it that as far as a positive for originality. Overall, what I can say about the film is I liked it. I wasn't crazy about it, and I would say this is probably mid to low tier Disney live action movies for me. Not to say that it's a bad movie in any way, shape, or form, because if you guys have been watching the channel here for a while, I have been pretty positive about the Disney live action movies. I think they all kind of offer something a little bit different. There are some that kind of do their own interpretations and kind of take things in different directions. There are some that have been shot for shot remakes, and some that kind of have been a blend of it, or some like this where it's kind of just taking a character from one of those animated films and doing its own thing with it. So I've enjoyed them for the most part. I've either liked them or loved them. I haven't had a single one that I've disliked or hated. You know, some just are kind of okay or fine or just enjoyable, fun movies. And that's kind of how I felt about Cruella. I liked it. I found it an enjoyable time. I was entertained throughout. I found the performances to be fun and light. I really enjoyed Emma Stone in the role. This film also has great technical elements as far as, again, beyond great performances, you have great digital effects at times, great practical effects, incredible costume design, hair and makeup is top notch, set design, the locations that they shot in, really strong. There were a couple moments here and there with some digital effects that weren't as strong as the other times, but for the most part, I did really thoroughly enjoy the way that this film looked and the way it was performed. Overall, really got to give a lot of positive praise when it comes to that. Beyond that, the story is, you know, pretty predictable as time goes on, but I did find it to be an entertaining good time. I was really enjoying watching the characters unfold and the story unfold as I was watching it. I don't know that this movie is going to blow everybody away or really going to blow people away in general, but by the time the movie ended and the credits were rolling, people were applauding. People seemed to be really into it. You also have Emma Thompson in this film, Mark Strong, and tons of other great people. There's some really great comedic moments in this movie that definitely made me laugh. Some moments that try to be funny that aren't as funny, but overall I found myself laughing and smiling for majority of the film, or just thoroughly entertained and kind of just into the story. So yeah, Cruella, I think that this is a film that's definitely worth checking out. I think on a technical level, on a visual level, there's a lot of artistry put into this film. I think sometimes they just kind of went in a weird direction with some of the story elements, and there was definitely definitely a feeling of conveniency at times, whereas things were just kind of conveniently happening for our characters in the story. It also kind of lives in a heightened reality, and so I wasn't sure how I felt about that at times, because there's times where it's grounded while also being a little bit heightened, and then there's times where it's really heightened. And if you've seen the trailer, this isn't a spoiler for anything that happens in the movie outside of this, but it only happens one time. In the trailer, there's a shot where you see Cruella literally light the outfit that she's wearing on fire, and it burns away almost like Hunger Games style, and she's wearing a nicer dress under that. And so it's just random stuff like that that'll happen in the movie, these different heightened reality moments that go from being, a bit of a heightened reality kind of drama movie into like a big heightened moment where it's just like, where did that come from? That felt a little bit like coming out of left field. But beyond that, I really did enjoy the film. I found it to be a good time. Again, a mid to low tier Disney live action adaptation for me. In no way, shape, or form does that mean it's bad. I've liked or loved all of these, with some, just being lower on that list. So yeah, I do recommend it, whether you check it out on the $30 Premiere Access on Disney Plus, or if you decide to go check it out in theaters. I think it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be my quick thoughts on Cruella. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. And if you don't enjoy it, please leave your comments down below. What did you like? What did you not like about the movie? I'm sure this movie is not gonna work for everybody. As a longtime Disney fan, it kind of just hit those marks for me that I need for a good time at the movies. It's not the most incredible movie. It's not gonna be mind-blowing for a lot of people, or most people in general, in my opinion. But the movie ended, people were applauding and talking, and people seemed to be having a lot of fun, and it did set up for a sequel. So if you check this one out, there is a post-credit scene, I will say that, and that's where I'll leave it. So a big thanks to you guys for watching. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.